Let's move this over. Oh, how do I move that back? Okay, I'm back. I have to talk to my husband for a second. So I'm back. Um, so yeah, we'll see who joins. If you guys have questions, you could ask a couple of questions. You could have questions about Africa. What's Africa where I am in the Gambia? I was outside, but it's dark now. It's dark outside. But the thing I love about Africa is everybody comes out outside. Like it's such a lively place. Like Gambia is so lively. Like everybody's outside, everybody's moving, walking, riding. You even see people riding the monkey drawn carts. No, did I say monkey? Not monkey. What are those things called? Donkey. They still have donkey drawn carts here, and you see that people transporting things. It's just busy. It's just busy. Where like where I live outside of Seattle is kind of quiet, so it's definitely an adjustment. An adjustment to the energy, but I love it. It's wonderful. I plan to live here one day. I love it so. So I'm back. Like I said, normally I talk about marriage and love and self-worth for women because I really want women to live empowered, fulfilling lives in good marriages, good, healthy marriages. So that's what I normally talk about. So you guys, I'm just in the mood to talk. I don't know. I'm just like sitting here chilling. We've been chilling all day because we had a lot going on. We've been in Africa for like, what's today? Today is Saturday. So we've been in Africa. We came to Dakar first, and now we're in Gambia. We've been in Africa we arrived like on a Thursday. So we've been here for like 9 days. And I feel like every day was packed with stuff. So today we're just going to chill and not do anything because we're going early tomorrow morning out into like the countryside of Gambia because we're going to Kunta Kinte's village, his ancestral village, where the Kinte family raised him, and the descendants of him, the descendants of Kunta Kinte, still live in Jufure in the village, out in the countryside of Gambia. So we're going early tomorrow, like 7 in the morning. So I'm like, let's just chill because we gonna have a busy, long day tomorrow, and we gotta go to bed. We've been going to bed super late, like every night, like on vacation, like you do. So I'm like, let's just chill. So we had a nice, relaxing day. We ate, and there was a baby naming ceremony next door. So that was like something to see and watch. And even like on the highways, like we were driving to get food. They had a carnival because around the holidays they do a lot of carnivals. So they had they have like a cultural thing they do where they have dancers and they have people dressed in costumes and masks, and they're on the streets like with the drums, and it's just a lively, fun place to be. It's just a mix of everything. It's a mix of everything. It's a mix of That's why I love it so much. You can find everything you need. Like whether it's entertainment, whether it's religion, whether it's good family life, healthy food, organic food. It's just like it's a medley. Africa's a medley. Africa's a salad. It's a medley. You see poverty. You see kids in the street selling. You see 3, 4 year olds walking in the street. Like, why are these 3 and 4 year olds walking in the street? Because their parents just let them live. They just let them be. They're free because they trust people who live here. People are really good, so they don't think their kids are going to get hurt. And it's like everybody kind of knows everybody, so they trust their neighbors and they know their neighbors. And you can just stop by your neighbor's house because you smelled food cooking on your neighbor's stove and you're like, I'm hungry. Like there's no homelessness because somebody will take you in. And because Gambia is small, Gambia is a country of only like 3 million people. So I feel like they're all kind of like they have a more community sort of mindset, and they all take care of each other. So that's what I've experienced so far. It's been a good, relaxing trip. And I'm a beach person. I love the ocean. I love the ocean. Anytime I go on vacay, I have to be near an ocean or on an ocean. And in Gambia, it's like surrounded by the ocean, the coast, the Atlantic Ocean. So no matter where you go, there's beautiful beaches, there's restaurants. That's the thing. It's like whatever you want to find here in Africa, it's here. like all the parts of it, the cultural parts you want, the entertainment, the fun, the sand, the surf. Like they even surf out here too. You're Gambian in the US? Yeah. No, I don't think you're lazy. I think it's the life slows you down. Maybe it's the heat, the sun. It's like it's like going to Hawaii. I don't know if you guys have been to Hawaii. Like how Hawaiians are. I wouldn't call it lazy. I think when you live in a beautiful place and you're near the ocean and you have your family close and you have like everything you need as far as what you need spiritually, not materially. Like that's the difference in the West. It's like everything is based on materialism and capitalism and what you can buy and what you can consume and what you can, status. Well, here it's like there's a spirituality here. It's like the most important things are family and God and love and good food. And I don't think it's that laziness. I think what you prize and what you value is different. I think what you value is different because I see these hardworking. Some of these Gambians are hardworking. So I wouldn't say all of them are lazy because I see them. I see the market ladies carrying their babies on their backs, carrying veggies on their heads in the street selling. I see kids in the street selling vegetables and fruit. They're not lazy. They're not lazy. They're just doing the best they can do with the life that, has been gifted to them. But they find joy in it. And that's the beauty. There's not misery. Like you could live in a place, I mean, I'm from America. I've lived in America all my life. And a lot of people are miserable there. And they have the most. And they think, materialism is what's going to give them peace. And they're always in a search for more materialism and more stuff. And they're absolutely miserable, right? Because they don't even have close connection to family, to God, to things that matter, to values, to community. They're all isolated, right? And just walking around and people greeting each other and neighbors talking and there was a baby naming ceremony. There was a wedding. There was a wedding in my husband's family recently, and there was a baby naming ceremony right next door to us. It's like that's what matters in life, And they have enough food. Nobody's starving. No one's homeless. So it's like, how much more do you really need for happiness? And what is happiness? And that's what it makes you think about when you come here from a very developed country, and you see these happy people that some of them don't have a lot, but they still have each other and they have happiness. It makes you question what is life really? What is happiness really? To me, happiness is having good family, it's having spirituality, having a close connection to your creator, it's having good food, it's having people to spend time with that love you. That's what it is. And so it's like I think the value is just the values are different here. So I don't think it's laziness. I think the values are different, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all, it's funny how we complain so much in America about what we don't have and what's not working. And like the fact that you have health and peace, you're wealthy and you have family. That's what they value. They see family as wealth. To be connected to your family is wealth. I was telling you guys, my father-in-law, every Friday, they go to his mother's house. His mother passed, but there's an auntie that still lives with the family and the kids, and she takes in neighborhood kids whose parents can't take care of them. They can't afford them. She takes in all these neighborhood kids, and every Friday she hosts a dinner after the Juma prayer, where the whole family gets together and they eat out of one plate. The men have a plate and the women have a plate, and they just kiki and enjoy each other. That's wealth. That's wealth, a wealth that you can't spend, that fills your heart and your soul like nothing else ever will. And the problem in America is you're being lied to. You're being taught that, if you live in a big, beautiful house and you have these nice cars and you have these nice clothes and all these things, it's going to fill you up. And so many people are not, they're miserable with all the stuff they have, miserable. And you meet these little kids out here that don't have a lot, or their families don't have a lot, but they smile in your face and they greet you warmly and kindly. And the little they do have, they're willing to share it. Do you need anything? Do you want anything? Are you hungry? And it flips the model that you've been taught. It flips it on its head. And you start thinking about your own peace. And what do you really need for peace? What do you really need? Right? And then you appreciate all that you have more, right? Let's see. It's so beautiful. I can't. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kindness. Tell them. You work harder. You know why you work harder in the US? You have more bills. You probably have credit card debt. They want to keep you in debt to keep you enslaved, right? You have a mortgage. You have all this debt. They don't have mortgages over here. They don't have credit cards over here. They don't have like debt like that, you know? So the system has been designed to keep you enslaved. And you think you're free because you're like, well, I'm free. So, I go to work and I come and go as I please. But all you're doing is working. Most Americans, they don't have time for socializing. And by the time they're done working, they don't even have the energy to socialize. That's why your neighbors run away from you when you come home. You're like, your neighbors are running into the garage. They barely want to say hi to you because they're exhausted from the day. They're exhausted. So they don't have the energy to even give you a kind word, a hello. Do you need anything? Do you need some sugar, right? We don't even know our neighbors. We don't even know our neighbors. How crazy is that? You can live in the same community with people and no one talks to each other, right? So it's just, that's why I tell people, that's good. That's good. That's good. You don't use credit. You're one of the few Americans who don't use credit. And because a lot of times they can't afford, or what we're taught is like you have to have this certain lifestyle to be happy. I know I used to be that way. Believe me, I speak from personal experience. Everything I talk to you guys, whether it's about marriage, life, relationships, whatever it is, my life, business, is from personal experience. It's not lies. It's what I've experienced. It's my experience. And I used to be in the mindset that I'd be happier if I have more. If I have more money to spend. And I can buy more things, more goods, and more name brand things. Then I'll finally fill the hole. And the hole never filled. And the hole wasn't filled until I came back to my faith. And my own spirituality has filled the hole. My relationship to God has filled the hole that I was always trying to fill with other stuff. More work, more money, more this, more that, more, vacations, more, and it's like, that's what they have here too. Like you hear their dawn called 5 times a day. And you see men praying in the street. You see even men that work in the resorts. They have a space for them outside in the back of the restaurant. So, because I'll tell you, we went to this resort that I stayed at the last time I was here. We got day passes for the kids so they could go to the pool because my kids are water babies. They got to be in a beach or a pool every day. So we went to the pool and I was like, oh, prayer's coming in. Now the old me wouldn't have thought about prayer. The old me would have sat there and listened to the music and just been, doing nothing, wasting time. And then when my prayer app goes off, oh, it's time to pray. And I'm thinking, I got to find a place to pray. Because I got to reconnect to the peace that really is the only peace that exists, which is the creator of the universe, true peace. And I love doing it 5 times a day. I look forward to it. And so the guys who work there, Gambia is a Muslim country. So the guys who work there, they pray. And so the people who own the resort give them a space in the back in the grass to pray. And I said, let me go ask one of the guys. I said, is there a place to pray? And he said, yeah. And then he gave me a prayer rug because they had a prayer rug for the staff. He gave me a prayer rug. And so I went in the back. And I have never in my life prayed like that outside in the back of the resort on the grass. And there was a couple playing tennis because it's a resort. So there's a lot of, the thing about Europeans is they're very open-minded. So Europeans come to Africa. There's so many Europeans at the resort that we stayed at. Like there's Germans and people from Holland. And I was looking at the list when I was booking our tour for the Kunta Kinte tour. And the people that were there, it was literally like Holland, England, a lot of English come here, England, Germany. The Europeans are very open-minded to the experience of coming to Africa. So they come, not so much the Americans, but they come. And Africa is closer to, it's like 5-6 hours from them by plane. So the guy gave me a prayer rug and I went out back and there's a couple playing tennis next to me and I didn't care. And I prayed in the grass. I prayed in the grass in Africa. Could be my ancestral homeland. I told you guys this before, about 30% of the enslaved Africans who were brought to the Americas and the Caribbean, 30% came from the Senegal, Gambia area. So for all I know, my ancestors could have prayed in the same place. And I thank God so much. I thanked him for the experience of being, if this was the place my ancestors were taken from being in this place and practicing the faith they practiced, right? And so it was just a beautiful experience, you know? And I've just had so many peaceful experiences here. Me and my friend were crying the other day because we came home and we didn't know this. So my sister-in-law, we're staying in her rental property, and she hired like they call him a watchman. So they let you into your home when you come home. They open the door. They always have gated doors, and they'll have a courtyard. So they'll let you into the courtyard. It's such a peaceful country. And we came in the first night we were here, and we thanked him for letting us in. And we thought that's his only job. He's just gonna, open the door for us because they lock the doors, and watch over the house when we're asleep, make sure we're good. And he had cleaned the kitchen, mopped the floors. He cleans our dishes every day. Whenever we wake up in the morning and we open the door, he's waiting for us. He's listening to see, because he stays in an apartment on this compound. So he's listening to see if we're awake. And when he hears us open the door, he rushes, "Do you need anything? Are you okay?" And he gets us fresh bread every morning. He goes, there's all these local aunties and local markets where they sell fresh fruit, and they bake fresh bread every day. And our bread was there, and we have a lady cooking for us, alaikum assalam, and she brings our food to us. A little auntie that cooks in the neighborhood for us brings us food every day, and we just started crying. There was something soul touching that I can't put into words that I experienced from these people. That always, not all of them have a lot. Some do, some don't. There's a mix. They don't show you. They only show you the poverty in Africa. They don't show you the wealth in Africa. Let me tell you, there's wealth here too. There's both. But for some who don't have a lot, they are honored to give to you. They are honored to help you. They are honored to serve you. They love when you come into their home and they know you're a traveler. They know you're a visitor, and they're like, "Oh, tell us about your trip, and tell us about your country, and what do you love about Gambia, and we're so glad you're here." And and it's so good to see the kids. The kids are growing up, and they're like, "We're so happy you're here," and they make you feel so special and loved. And it's just, we're in tears. We just met these people that are watching the house for us, and the wife lives here. And so what we did was we're going to give them some money to free leave. What we did was, we had bought cake one night, and we split the cake up, and we gave the wife and the husband half the cake. And they don't necessarily eat like a lot of sweets here, and they don't necessarily, like the local people can't always afford to go to a bakery and buy like a big cake. So we bought, the cake was cheap for us. It was like $8, right? But for them, that's a lot of money for them, right? And so we got them a half a cake, and alhamdulillah, and they were so happy. And the wife does our laundry. If we ever had need laundry done, she does our laundry. And we're just so well taken care of. Tears, I tell you, tears. We're so well taken care of. And that's the beauty of Africa. They take care of each other. You still see when we're on the highways and the roads, you still see hitchhikers. People pick people up and take them home, and they're safe. You see little kids, 4 or 5, walking streets by themselves, walking roads by themselves. And my friend was like, "How are they that little walking the roads?" It's because they all take care of each other, and they don't feel like their kids are going to be hurt or someone's going to harm their children, because everybody kind of knows everybody. And I know who those kids are. I know who those kids belong to, and everybody's looking out. Everybody's watching out. They make sure the kids are good and kids are safe, right? But what has happened here, and that's a more recent thing, is as people from all over the world start to visit here and come here, you have all different types of people that come here, and they've had issues with what, I don't think I can say it on TikTok, but PDF, we'll call it PDF. So the government is starting to crack down on that, and letting parents know, especially tourists, you can't trust, you don't know where these tourists came from, and so you can't trust to have your kids going with tourists, walking with tourists, always talking to tourists, But for the most part, it's very safe. It's a safe country. They recently elected a new leader. They had a dictator in power for a long time, and so now the people are more optimistic. The development that's going on here is insane. I came 3 years ago, and they just built a new highway. They have all this construction going on. They're building condos and resort. They had already had resorts, but they're building more resorts because it's right on the ocean. So they have so much development coming here, building bridges. So I really see it transforming. And property is still cheap here, land is still cheap here, but it's growing and developing very quickly. So if you guys have questions about Africa, or like I said, I normally talk about self-love and self-worth. I'm a marriage mindset coach. This is what I normally talk about is marriage. I've been, alhamdulillah, in a healthy, loving marriage for it'll be 21 years on January 9th. I'm married to a Gambian. That's why I'm here. His family is here. I got to spend a lot of time with family, and they love us so much. They're so glad we're here. We were having a good experience. But mostly I talk about marriage because I want women to love, honor, and respect themselves. And I want them to be able to see how to choose the right man for marriage. And so that's what I talk about normally. If you go to all my content, that's what it normally is. But because I'm in Africa, I just felt inspired to share the experience. I've been posting videos and photos, and I'll continue to do so. If you have questions about either Africa or West Africa or marriage or self-worth, is what I talk about, put your questions below. But if you guys are just, I don't know, if you're just hanging out like I am, welcome. We're all just hanging out on it's Saturday night here, 7:30, and it's probably Saturday morning where you guys are, if you're in the West. And we're kind of chilling today because we're going to Kunta Kinte's village tomorrow, and we have to be at the hotel resort at 7 a.m. for our pickup. So I told my kids, I'm like, we're just going to chill. We're going to go to bed at a decent hour so we can get up, and our driver's going to come get us and take us to the resort where they're taking us into into the rural areas of Gambia. And they still have village life here too. You still see village life, women pounding herbs and onions, and people with farmers and people with their cows, and you still see village life here. So it's funny because it's just a mix. It's a mix. You smell different smells and hear different sights, and it's like you're just like everything's stimulated. Like all parts of you are stimulated. Your soul is stimulated. Your mind is stimulated while you're here, right? Your senses are stimulated. It's just a very amazing experience. How was the culture shock? I've been to Senegal, so we came to Senegal first, Aisha. So we did Senegal 3 days in Dakar, and then we came to Gambia. Let's see. Let me see what you guys are asking. Yeah, it was safe. Me too. I grew up in Philly, but the thing is, we grew up in, y'all know townhouses or row houses and the neighborhoods, and everybody kind of knew everybody, and you knew people's parents, and you knew what neighborhood what block they lived on, and you knew their family members, and so we felt safe, But nowadays, it's like you barely know your neighbors. It's crazy. Yep, so I love Dakar. Dakar is much more expensive than Gambia is. Gambia is smaller. It's only 3 million people for the whole country. And Dakar is about 19 million people. And Senegal is I think it's like 30 million. It's a huge country. So it feels like just a more laid back kind of vibe than Dakar was like bustling, hustling, bustling, like being in New York almost. Culture shock, yeah, I think there's always differences in marriage, whether you marry a man from your culture, because human beings are different. And more than anything, I think culture does influence people, but I feel like the most important influence is family. And I think when you get married, you're coming from a different family than he is. And I think those are the most important influences. That's why I tell women, you want to get to know the family. Yes, the culture. My husband does have a different culture than me, but we share a lot of similarities as far as our family values and how we were raised. And that's in our faith. That's what really connected us, was our faith, our religion, our family values, and we shared the same life goals. There were certain cultural things I had to get over because I'd never been married to an African man, and the level of respect that they desire is high. And I'd say they see themselves, I tell you, these people are kings and queens over here, okay? Kings and queens walking. Even the way they dress, even the women, it's like they got crowns on their heads. They are kings and queens, and they expect to be treated as such. So there was things I had to learn as far as the level of things that he would say, oh, that's disrespectful. And I'm like, well, that's just normal how I speak to everybody. And it was like, well, why are you speaking to people like that then? Why are you speaking disrespectfully to people then like that? And it kind of made me question what I saw as respect. What I saw as respect for a man. What I saw as respect to a woman. What I saw as how I wanted to be respected, how you wanted to be respected. And those are things that you guys, and generally in any marriage, you're going to have conflicts. But what I tell people is, how do you overcome conflicts? And can you see the other person's perspective? Because if someone's telling you, I don't like when you do that, but you're in your ego and you're like, well, I don't care what you like. This is me. I'm just going to be me. But someone is telling you, I don't like when you do that, or I don't like when you say that, or I don't like how you treat me. And you're in your ego and you're saying, I don't care. Do you really love the person? Because if you don't respect them, how can you love them? And these are things that you will have to deal with in your marriage, because you come from different families, right? And you could annoy each other unintentionally, because he doesn't know what you like, you know what he likes, right? But that's what marriage is. That's the work of marriage, is learning how to love and respect someone different than you. And it's been some work on both ends, on both sides. But if you really love each other, and I tell people, if love is the foundation of your marriage and respect is the foundation of your marriage, which has to be the foundation, and God, you can overcome almost anything. Okay? But yeah, we've overcome a lot of cultural differences. And I've learned to appreciate the cultural differences. There's some things we're never gonna see eye to eye on, because I was raised in America and he was raised in Gambia. There's some things we're gonna have to agree to disagree. Right? And some things you have to compromise. And some things you say, you know what, is that really even worth fighting about? And as you're married longer, what happens too is, and this happened with me, is as I've gotten older, I like peace. I enjoy peace. Walaikum assalam, everybody. Walaikum assalam. I like peace. And when you get to I'm 50. So maybe in my 30s, I didn't really understand the concept of peace. Maybe in my 20s, I got married at 29. I didn't understand the concept of peace because I was really in my ego. And sometimes being in your ego takes you away from peace, because you're like, well, I'm going to win. I'm right. I know I'm right. It's my way or the highway. And I want things done my way, because you're in your ego. But being in your ego causes a lot of fights, unnecessary fights. You could just have peace. You get to decide in every interaction with every human being. You get to decide, do I want peace or do I want war? Do I want ego? Do I want peace? So sometimes you just let stuff go in marriage, because you're like, I just like peace, and we're never going to agree. We're never going to see eye to eye on that. I'm going to let him have that. He's going to let me have that, and that's okay. And that happens in every marriage. You just start enjoying peace. And then you get to a point in your marriage where you just respect each other's differences. And you stop trying to change each other. That's the thing. Like, I feel like early in marriage, you literally think, oh, I can change that part of him. Or I don't like that part of him. Or I can make him different. I know I can. Ego. I said, you're always in your ego when you first start things. Any new thing, you're in your ego. I don't know why. We do this as human beings. But then you get to a point where you're like, actually, I realize I'm not here to change another human being. Gasp. 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 Maybe you realize it in your 40s. Gasp. And when you finally realize you're not here to change other human beings, this is what's going to blow your mind if you guys are in your 20s and you're still trying to change other human beings. You start asking yourself, how can I change me? Or how can I accept other human beings? Because they get to create their own matrix. And how can I understand other human beings and understand their motivations, understand why they do the things they do, understand their backgrounds, their childhood programming, and then you start having compassion for other human beings. You start having compassion, because then you start understanding why they are the way they are. Oh, and like when I come to Africa, I understand my husband better. Oh, that's why he's so super independent. He was out. He told me the other day, he told me he was walking to school at 5 and 6, 5 miles a day. What do you think that creates in a human being as a child, walking to school at 5 by themselves for 5 miles a day? Hyper independence. I know the way. I know the right way. I'm going to figure this out. He's always going to be that way. So why would I try to change him? That's marriage. That's the work of marriage. That's the work. I think that's why God created it, to be honest. That's the work of it. Understanding each other. we're actually not here to change each other, right? So it goes deep the longer you get in it, girl. I've been 21 years, so year two I didn't get this. Year two I was battling egos, battling, right? It's my way. I know the right way, and I come from I have a very strong mindset, and I've always considered myself a very powerful woman, and I was like, I know the way for me. I know what's right for me, and I like to listen. I didn't like to see other people's perspectives, and now I actually listen more. I try to understand people. Even it may not even make sense to me why you want to do what you want to do. But let me figure this out with you. Maybe I have some solutions too, right? Because I like peace. So, girl, marriage is some work. I promise you. It will grow you in really powerful ways. Yeah, marriages could work better if people stop trying to change their spouse. Think about how easier it could be if you just accepted all the little idiosyncrasies about what makes another human being who they are. Think about if you you asked about their childhood, and you asked about how their mother treated them and their father treated them, and that's why they have that wound, and that's why they feel that way about themselves, or that's why they're triggered when you say that. And I told you guys very honestly, we've done marriage therapy. We did marriage therapy, marriage counseling. And that's what you learn in marriage counseling. It's like you learn to understand each other. That's why when I say that to him, he's triggered that way. Or that's why when I say that to her, it triggers her. Oh, because her father said that, or her mother said that, or her best friend, or she was bullied, or you learn to get deeper. It's called intimacy. Relationship is about intimacy, and it means into me I see, into you I see. And the deeper you see into people, the deeper you go into people, you start accepting them. You know why? Because you start accepting yourself. You're not perfect. You got all type of faults too. And I used to think I was perfect, as you guys know. I think I'm a queen. I used to think I was perfect. So it's always him. What's him? He's doing these things. I don't like these things. I'm perfect. And I never put the mirror on myself. And then when I put the mirror on myself, I was like, oh, there's things about me too that could change. And that made our marriage better because we were working on ourselves. It wasn't just finger pointing and blaming. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
How are you?
And now, it's funny because the work that I do as a coach is to deeply understand people. I got to deeply understand their motivations. I got to deeply understand why they do the things they do that are not serving them. Because they tell me one thing. They're like, I want to be in love, and I want this great thing. I want this happy marriage. And then I start going deeper, and I figure out they got all these fears around men and marriage. They don't even trust men. They don't even like men. Gasp. They didn't like their father. They didn't like their uncles. They didn't like their brothers. But they keep saying they want to love a man. So this is the work, ladies, that I do with women all over the world. I like being intimate with people. Not in that way. I like getting into the insides. I like to get into the mind and the heart of women. Because you'd be surprised the things that you guys say to me that you don't hear. You don't hear what you're saying sometimes. I promise you. I have coaching clients that say things to me, and then I turn it back on them. Did you hear what you just said? And they're like, did I? Yeah. And you wonder why your life looks the way it does. You're not listening. You're not inside of yourself. And a lot of times, people don't want to be intimate with themselves. Gasp. And true intimacy is intimacy with yourself first. Did y'all know that? Yeah. True intimacy is knowing yourself first. If you don't know you, if you don't know what you like, if you don't know what you need, if you don't know what's important to you, if you don't stay firm on your values and your boundaries, how can you articulate that to another human being? And then you want him to be a mind reader. He should just know. He should just know why I'm not happy. He should just feel inside of me. And men aren't wired that way. And I tell y'all that all the time. They're not wired that way. His insecurities were being put on you. That happens too a lot. But Strawberry Bliss, I'm about to blow your mind. You ready? And that's funny your name is Strawberry because we were talking about this is the African way. We're like looking for strawberries today, girl. We're at the market, ladies, like, where are the strawberries? Because we were going to create strawberry banana smoothies today because we're in our own matrix. So we thought we could just have whatever we want. Where are the strawberries? And the market ladies were like, girl, it's not even strawberry season. Duh. And we're like, we're such Americans. We get anything we want whenever we want, any time of the year. They're like, no, we don't sell strawberries. It's not strawberry season. But back to what you were asking and what you were saying is the crazy work of relationship, the thing that makes it so, I think it's God's highest design and work that he gave us to change ourselves. I think he created relationships so we can change ourselves is because if you start looking really closely at your spouse, the person you say you love, you're going to find their insecurities live in you too. That's what you're going to find. And I think you attract who you are. So if he's insecure, you're probably insecure too. Maybe in a different way, maybe about different things. And the work is your partner is a mirror. That's the work. The work is, oh, I see that thing in him that I don't like. Let me find out if it's in me. He's impatient. Is that in me? Is God showing that to me so I can work on that in myself? Oh, he has anger issues. Do I have anger issues? And why? Is it because what am I really angry about? What is the root of the anger? Because I had anger issues. And so did my husband. Reflected back to me. Your partner is a mirror of you. So once you stop pointing outside of yourself, and what will blow your mind is even your friends, even your family are mirrors of you. And when you stop blaming other people and you start looking at yourself very clearly, intimately, then you'll start fixing yourself. And then all the things in the other person, either they'll go away from you, it'll blow your mind, or you'll have the courage to leave. Either they'll leave you because you won't resonate anymore, or you'll have the courage to leave. But you're with that person because there's something in you that drew you to the person. And you got to figure out why. Why would I be with an angry man? Was my father an angry man? And this feels very similar to how I was treated. Was my opinion not validated by my father? And now I'm with a man that doesn't value my opinion? Was I made to feel small? And now my husband does that to me? Was that my dad that did that to me? Was I not given enough attention by my father? And now my husband doesn't give me enough attention? You got to see the patterns. We're just recreating patterns. We're like little kids just recreating patterns over and over and over again until we have the awareness to stop the pattern. So, I don't know if y'all understand what relationship is really about. I don't know if y'all get it. And if you come onto my live saying ignorant things, you are getting blocked. My salams. Because what my creator said is, when the ignorant address you, you say to them peace. So peace, away with you. Don't get on, you found the wrong Muslim woman. Don't get on my chat with ignorance. Okay? I'm here in love and peace only. I told you, I love peace. I don't want anything else in my life but peace. And even the intimacy work you do with yourself, to figure out yourself, is so you have peace within. So you don't have doubts in yourself. You don't have worries in yourself. You don't have insecurities. The work is about your own peace. It's so that in your own self, you feel calm, you feel centered, you feel loved, you feel safe. That is the work. And this is what I tell women. You can't expect to find it in a man if it's not in you. So find the peace within you first, right? So let's see. You guys are talking. Y'all know I like to talk. Y'all know I'll be on here for hours. My friend is sitting here looking at me. You know I like to talk. Girl. Stacey's like, okay. Me and Stacey are supposed to be, girl. Stacey's watching me.
I'm watching you from real time. I needed a stereo, girl. I needed a stereo.
She needed a stereo. Girl, Stacey's over here. Girl, you know what me and Stacey do. We're sitting here watching the show, but we're on TikTok. And Stacey is watching me on TikTok. Girl, I love you.
It's so meta.
Girl, my friends know we do deep inner work. When we get together, girl, we're not sitting talking about no bags. We're not sitting talking about what Foolishness.
Foolishness.
We are talking about intimacy. How do we work on ourselves to create the matrix we want? How do we do the work? So that's what we do. We spend time, and we even watch the shows we watch are around inspiring people that maybe came from humble beginnings, came from, abuse or whatever, but did the work to get to their dream, did the work on themselves. That's what we watch, right? So y'all know I'll talk to y'all all day. Let's see. Do y'all have questions? This started with live from Gambia, and it's turning into something else. It started with my African experience, but what I was saying was like the African experience for me is, I just think coming from the States, we're just taught materialism and consumerism and capitalism, and value is based upon class and, where you work and like where you go to school and like what neighborhood you live in, and where your kids go to school. And like the value system is just in disorder. And the value system here is different. It's family, it's community, it's how can we give and help each other, it's how can we grow and build together. It's just a different value system, And I think you can have she said laugh, cry. She said laugh, cry, laugh, cry. Girl, that's what I want to do. I want to I love to laugh. My friends tell you, I'm the silliest person. Like I love to laugh, but I'm deep. So I want to make you laugh, but then I want to open up your mind at the same time. Kind of like Dave Chappelle. Like, I want you to crack up, but I want you to be like, oh, I was changed after this conversation in some way. Because why are we doing TikToks? Like, if you're not improving someone's life or inspiring someone, like, why are you just what are you making content for? Oh, centered? Oh, okay. So if you guys want me to go deeper with, what centered means, for me, yeah, that. Oh, girl, we gotta go up. We gotta go up, Stacey. There's so many good questions. You guys always have really good questions. What if someone misrepresented themselves when you met? Is it still reflecting your traits? Yes, girl. Tell her. Oh, I've been teaching Stacey about Islam, so she's coming from an Islamic perspective about tests. But this is deeper than that. So Jay, I always ask women this question when they tell me they meet men that are, liars or misrepresent themselves or present a false image of who they are. My question for the woman is, are you authentic? I want you to, and this could be Jay, this could be a hand over heart, eyes closed question. Because in the heart is the truth. Are you authentic? Do you lie? Do you present a false self? Do people know your truth? Do people know what's inside of you? Are you lying to yourself? That's the question. Because sometimes you'll have men in your life who misrepresent themselves because you're misrepresenting yourself. Do you even know who you are? Do you know who you are? And are you connected to your discernment? Because girl, I can spot, let me tell you, I can feel the energy. I can feel it as a woman because I'm very inside of myself. I'm tuned in, I'm tapped in and tuned in and tapped in. I can feel the energy of a man that is misrepresenting himself. It's a certain vibration, you can feel it if you're connected to your discernment. And what I find is women who have experienced trauma are not connected to their discernment. It's almost like you come out of your body when you experience trauma, and sometimes they're not back inside their bodies. They're not back inside their bodies. So their bodies are screaming, this man will do you no good. This man will harm you. But you're not in your body to hear it. You're not in your body to feel it when your body is screaming. When you first meet a man, if you don't feel safe and adored, the feeling of, and I was telling Stacey this the other day. My father was the first man in my life who made me feel safe and adored in my body. So when I meet men, like when I was meeting men for marriage purposes, if they didn't make me feel safe and adored, I'd be turned off. I know the feeling of what it feels in my body when I'm around a man that makes me feel safe and adored. It's an energy, and it's hard to describe it, but it's a feeling. And sometimes when a woman hasn't experienced that feeling from her father or, men in her life, She doesn't know the energy of what it feels like. So she'll let any man into her presence and stay. She'll let any man into her presence because what she just really wants is to be loved. She just wants to feel loved. So any man can try, right? And they will. Any man will try. But a woman who knows the feeling of feeling safe and adored in her body will easily let go of a man that doesn't make her feel that way. She'll see it. He's a walking red flag. The words he says will turn her off. He won't be talking about what he can do for her, how he's planning to help her in her life, how he's planning to advance her, the future plans he has for her life, where they're going to be in the future. He'll be focused a lot on himself, and that will turn her off. Right? Like when we talk about narcissists, I'm like, a narcissist should be so easy to feel. A narcissist is a man who's always focused on himself. That's how you know. When women tell me, I was dating this, I'm like, what do you mean you were dating a narcissist or you were married to, huh? In the beginning, he's going to be self-absorbed. He's not going to be on the first meeting asking you, what do you like to do? What do you love? What's important to you? What do you want out of your life? He's going to be talking about himself and telling you what he wants you to do for him and how you could benefit him, right? So these are simple things that I'm finding a lot of women don't know. And this is why I'm doing the work I'm doing. Oh, you asked about Senator Ali. I'm sorry. I get off on a tangent. Y'all may have to put your comments in here again and again and again. Oh, we'll talk about that. Melanated Bestie, we're going to come back to that. Cutting off early. I'm going to tell you what it's really about. I don't know if y'all ready for this conversation. This is going to be a long live, y'all, because I got time. I got time today. I'm going to go back to centered, because I think that's a very important question. Girl, I got time today. I'm sitting here watching Chef's Table on Netflix, which is if y'all have not watched Chef's Table on Netflix, all the themes in it are beautiful. But anyway, centered is I feel safe and peaceful in my body. I feel that I'm taken care of by God, by my family, by my friends. I feel optimistic about life. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I'm centered in me. I believe in me. I know my worth and value. I feel good about my life. I feel good about me. I'm centered. Hope that helps. Cutting off early. Every woman, if they're honest, that's why you got to start getting real with yourself. If you're honest, and I've had these conversations with women who've divorced, and what they always tell me is, I saw the red flags in the beginning. They know. Women know. A woman's intuition, powerful. They're like, I saw the red flags, but something about it, I couldn't let it go. I kind of knew. He wasn't really what I wanted. And what that's really about, I'll be honest, if you find it difficult to cut off men early, you just want to be loved. And you'll let anybody do it. And you may have a scarcity mindset. You may think, I don't know how old you are, but I see this a lot in older women. You may think I'm getting older and I have to settle and I just want to be loved and I want to be taken care of. And even though I see all these red flags, I'll let him continue to try. I don't live in a scarcity mindset. So for me, whenever I was seeing a man, and I'll be honest, there have been times in my early 20s where I held on too long. I had a marriage, I held on to it for a year. In that year, I knew, he can't love me how I want to be loved. I've always known, every woman, you got to get real with yourself. You know what you need in love, and you know what you need in relationship if you get real with yourself. And if you see that this person is not capable, if you're telling this man, that's the other thing. If you're telling this man, this is what I need in relationship with a man, and he's not actively working to make you happy, to try to meet your needs, it means he's not capable. It doesn't mean he's a bad person. It doesn't mean that maybe he can't love somebody else in that way. He's not capable of meeting your needs. And if you hold on, the real question is, do you believe you deserve to have your needs met? And for me, I would let go. Because there's something in me that always said, I deserve to have my needs met. I've always thought that way. So the question is for you, Melanated Beauty, is hands over heart, eyes closed question. Do I believe I deserve to have my needs met? Centered is yes. Centered is, oh, that felt good even asking the question, because it reaffirmed my truth, right? So we as women got to get real with ourselves. You gonna attract men into your life who are not real if you're not real. You're gonna attract men into your life who are inauthentic because you're inauthentic. Because you don't speak up for yourself. Because you don't say, hey, wait a minute, buddy, no. That was disrespectful. Don't do that again. And if it happens again, I gotta go. Because I told you once. So obviously you don't really value what I need. I told you I don't like that. I don't want that. Don't do that. Don't say that. That was hurtful. Especially if he doesn't care about your feelings. That's another thing. If a man does not care that he's hurt you, if he doesn't care at all, he doesn't love you. I know, it's tough. I know, many women tell me, but we've been together all this time and and he did all these things, but he doesn't really care about my feelings. That's the truth. He doesn't really love you. And it's okay sometimes. This is the thing too about marriage. It's like you get to decide like what you want out of it. Like I don't think some people don't care about love in marriage. And hey, to each his own. Create your own matrix, I always say. Some people don't care about love. They're like, I don't really need love, but know what you need. Some people, we're all different. God made us all different. Some women just need provision. Hey, I don't really need all that romantic, fuzzy, lovey, I adore you, but I need provision, and that's all I need. Hey, okay. But are you getting what you need? That's the question. And do you believe you deserve to have what you need? Right? Y'all got me on a tangent today. Let's see. Okay. Oh, can I introduce myself? Yes, I will. But then why would he be able to meet another person's needs? Because everybody has different needs. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with you, Aaliyah. You must be young. As you start getting older and you start learning human beings, you start seeing all the ways their relationships work. Some work this way, some work that way. Some been married for a long time. And you're like, how are they still together when he's not doing that or doing this or she's not doing that? It's because what you need is not what they need. And if they're still together, they're getting what they need out of it. Right? And it could be, I just need him to pay bills. Maybe she doesn't need adoration. Maybe she doesn't need love. I need him to pay bills one time. That's what I need. And I've met women like that. And I've met women that are like, I need affection. It's not enough affection. Or I need attention. Or I need, what do you need? And you should write a list before marriage. You should know what you need. I've asked so many women this question when they get on my calendar. What do you need? You're right. Versus what do you want? What can you compromise on? What can't you compromise on? And girl, they cannot tell me. They are like deer in headlights. They've never thought about it. It's never entered their brain. And then they end up with men and they're like, he's not what I want or what I need. I'm like, maybe if you started to write these things down and outline them and figured it out before you actually said, I do. Maybe you'd have some of what you need and want, right? Okay. Oh, so let me tell y'all what I do. So I'm a marriage mindset coach, but I'm in Africa right now. So it started with Africa. I started with telling the story of Africa and what I loved about it. And I'll put the whole recording on my YouTube channel, which is Rashida Marriage Mindset. But then we got, I do marriage mindset coaching, pre-marriage mindset coaching. So we started talking about marriage and men, like we women always do. We always revert back to this. So that's what I'm talking about. If you guys have questions, oh, that's how good the food is here. I never burp like this, girl. My body is like, yes, 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 yes. But the food is so good here and real and organic and, So if you guys have questions, let's see. I'm going to go back up.
What about his needs?
What about his needs? Is that a man on here? We need him off. We need him off, girl. How do we kick all the men off? There should not... Oh, what it made me move to Gambia? Oh, I love your little... Clock it, Stacey. I'm looking at all the comments I missed. I didn't move to Gambia, but I'm visiting. My husband is from here. His family's here, so we're visiting Gambia for a couple of weeks. We're in Senegal and Gambia for a couple of weeks. Okay, let me go back down, y'all. I like to talk. I go into a tangent. Just stop me. You agree. Yeah, a lot of women are not connected to how they feel. I promise you, girl. I promise you. I make them do this work. I make you guys put your hand over your heart, eyes closed. The other thing I do is tell me about the feeling. Where in your body is that feeling live? So they'll finally feel the feeling of like, oh, I feel I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or whatever the feeling is that's holding them back, or why they're saying with this man, I feel like I can't have another man, or nobody else would love me. I'm getting old. Like, whatever the feeling is. There's a feeling. Human beings do things, do actions, have behaviors because of feelings. The root is always the feeling. Anytime you see a human being doing something dysfunctional, which many of them do, right? Not like I'm a human being too. I'm not an alien. I'm an evolved human being. So I always look at the feelings. I want them to go into the feelings. The feelings tell me why you're doing dysfunctional things. Choosing dysfunctional men, staying in dysfunctional relationships. It's the feelings. So I have women go inside. Why would you allow a man to treat you that way? Or why do you not think you can have the man you want? And it's always the feelings. And then we go deeper in the feeling. And when did you first feel that way? And who taught you that? Who made you feel that way? Was it mom? Was it dad? Who taught you? What did you see in your parents' marriage? How did your father treat your mother? I tell you, it's intimacy. It's intimacy work. Because you got to see inside of yourself. Because your feelings are your behaviors, right? And then when they start feeling the feelings, I get descriptive. What color is the feeling? And where in your body does the feeling live? And what shape is it? And then they tell me, oh, this is a real energy. It's a real energy in your body. And it's directing your behavior. Sometimes in ways you don't want it to do. Anytime you're in life and you're doing anything that doesn't feel 100% right in your soul, it feels dysfunctional, it feels toxic, even staying at a job you don't want to be at, working with a boss you don't want to work with for freaking umpteen years, not making enough money and staying there. That's dysfunctional behavior. So now I got to figure out why do I feel I can't make more money? Or why do I feel I can't leave this employment? Do I not feel good enough? Do I feel the economy is not? What is the feeling? Because we got to heal the feeling. The feeling is getting in the way. And then I give them new affirmations to reprogram their minds, to transform the energy of the feeling. So whenever the feeling comes up again, instead of going to that same mindset with, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, whatever it is, they're going to have a new thing to say to themselves that will over time change the thought, which changes the feeling, which changes their behavior. And these are the things we should learn in school at 5 and 6 years old. But they don't teach this stuff intentionally, right? They don't teach it intentionally. And cutting off early is easy when you know what you need. It's like if I went grocery shopping, good example. If I went to the market, ladies, here in Gambia, and I saw tomatoes, good example. If I went to the market, ladies, here in Gambia, and I saw tomatoes and oranges and cucumbers and avocados, but I wanted grapes, why would I buy avocados and then complain? These freaking avocados, they're not sweet and round like grapes and juicy. I chose the thing that I knew wouldn't fit my needs. And the question is why? Why are you choosing things that you know don't fit your needs? Is it about self-worth? Is it you were taught you don't deserve to have the things you want? What is it? When the lady right next to us was selling grapes. So the first thing we went to, they weren't selling grapes. But I wanted grapes. I'm going after the grapes. But then, what I did was I bought the other stuff from the other lady. But then I went to the other lady and I was like, oh, can I get some grapes? Because I wanted grapes. It's the same concept. Just like when you go shopping, you know the shoes you want. You're like, girl, I need to get these black shoes. I have the stress in my head. You even have a vision. Women are so powerful. You ever have a vision of how you want to look? This is me. So when I'm going to an event or I'm going to Africa or wherever I go, I have a vision of how I want to look already. already in my head. Like I can see my body in it. I can see the colors I want to wear. I can see the shoes. So when I go into the store, I'm looking for my vision. I'm not like, oh, well, I guess he will fit because maybe a yellow dress would work. I'm looking for a black dress. So I can't go buy the yellow dress and complain, well, it wasn't like a color I wanted. It didn't fit the shape I wanted. But you chose that man. You chose that dress. Did you not have a vision in your head of the type of man that you knew that you need? I know exactly how I want to be loved. It's girl, like I could, y'all see I did a video, the top 10 ways I expect my husband to love me. I had a list for y'all. Y'all need to go check out my YouTube channel, Rashida Marriage Mindset, and subscribe and join my membership because I get into your head in my members only lives. I answer very personal questions and I get into your head and I reprogram you from the inside out so you can create the life, the relationships, the business that you deserve. So all that stuff in your head, in your heart that's in the way, we're gonna clear all that stuff out. We're gonna clear it out. We're gonna clear it out because you deserve better. And let me tell you, there's a part of you that knows. I'm gonna tell you, feel it. I'm gonna tell you, feel the part of you that knows. So like, how you buy the dress you don't want, and you're like, dang, you're like, there's a part of you. It's like, that's not really the dress. That's not really the dress. And then you settle because you're like, well, it's getting late and just getting tired. I don't know if I can get the black dress I really wanted. So I'm gonna settle for the red one. And you get dressed for the party, but when you get in the red one, it doesn't do it justice. You look in the mirror and you're like, this is not my vision. Let me tell you how I go into the store. Or I go into the store with a vision. Like I go with when I was looking for a husband. I had a vision. So I go into the store with a vision, and I always find my vision. I will keep going to the next store and the next store. I'll wait the next day. Okay, maybe I'll look on different sites. I have the vision in my head. I'm not going to settle because I'm not going to feel comfortable in the dress that I don't really want to wear. Just like in the marriage. You're not going to feel comfortable in a marriage that you settle for. Marriage is supposed to be something that adds value to your life. Just like the most pretty dress when you go to an event and you just feel like a queen. And I don't go out a lot, but when I go to events and I'm like, oh, okay, this is it, girl. I have a vision. Event and you just feel like a queen. And I don't go out a lot, but when I go to events and I'm like, oh, okay, this is it, girl. I have a vision. And when I'm in the vision, girl, life is so good. When I'm living my vision, when I'm living my vision, life is sweet and divine and beautiful. When I'm in the vision, when you're living it, when it was in your head, the thing about we're watching this chef show, and all the chefs say the same thing. It's like they had the vision of being a chef when they were kids, and now they're like cooking, and now they're living, and now they're creating, and they're living their best lives because they're living their vision. Girl, y'all got me in tears over here. Y'all got me in tears. Tears. Let me see. I'm reading your comments. Yes. Okay. So I'm a marriage mindset coach. Okay. Prayers up, y'all, that y'all live y'all vision. Life is wonderful, Kay. I am living my vision. Let me tell you what I did as a kid. And I was a kid with a vision. I think I know all kids have vision. I'm going to tell you why. These chefs were children. They were like, I'm going to be a chef. 10, 11, 12, I'm going to be a chef. And now they're all these like amazing James Beard winning chefs. So when I was a kid, I don't know how old I was that I decided this. It just came. So my dad put me in Muslim school. And I'm African American. So I went to an African American Muslim school when I was little. And we learned about the great kingdoms of Mali and Songhai and Ghana, the great empires, African empires in West Africa. In American schools, they just teach slavery. That's all they teach the black people. Slavery, and that's it. Sorry, y'all were slaves. That's all y'all were. In my school, I was taught we came from royalty. We came from great kingdoms in Africa, right? And so I always had this vision of, I'm going to marry an African. So my kids can know where they come from. So my kids can have their real last name of their ancestors, not the slave master's last name. That was important to me when I learned about these kingdoms. I was like, my kids gotta have a little tie to these kingdoms. And so I knew inside of myself, my first love was African. I knew I'm gonna marry an African. Vision. As a kid, you had vision. You had things, you had dreams, you had plans, you had hopes. You're like, I'm here to do some things on the planet. Yeah, I know what they are. And maybe your parents were like, no, not you, or in your neighborhood, kids don't do that in your neighborhood, or not where you come from, or just shut up. No, just stop with all these childlike dreams, right? But you're gonna have to return back to your vision. What's your vision? What's your vision? It's not just marriage. It's not just marriage. It's life. It's life. And I believe that the creator of the universe created us all with a purpose. Just like he made us have all different fingerprints. And we're very unique. We're very unique souls, I promise you. We're very unique souls. And once you figure out what is the vision, what is the purpose, why am I here, what do I want to do that will light me up every day, that I can help others, I can help myself, I'm going to feel good about doing it, then life starts to make a lot of sense. And I believe that I'm supposed to come back here to help a lot of people. I really feel that when I see the kids in the street, I made a prayer today and I was like, God, show me how I'm supposed to give back here. Because I'm going to live here one day. I know I am. Like, I feel like the entryway was the African husband. That was the entryway into my true purpose, my divine purpose. But I know it's deeper than that. It's not just about the African husband. It's about something giving back in Africa. And so I pray today, you show me how you want me to give back when I move here eventually. So we'll see. The vision continues, y'all. The vision continues. The vision continues. What are your visions? I'm kind of curious now. I have a lot of folks on here. What's your vision? What is your... Yes, Black Rabbit, what is your vision? Do you remember your visions when you guys were little? Even when I talk to kids, if you talk to little kids, and you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Girl, they know. Even the most craziest things, like, I don't know, I'm going to race Tonka trucks. Like, even at that age, as children, they have a vision. Where did that come from? Right? Like my husband owns a car lot, so he sells cars. And when my son was little, he was a car freak. I remember him being in his car seat as a kid, reading through, what's the car magazine? The famous one, Car. You wouldn't know. You don't care about cars. She's like, I don't know. Issa used to flip through the car magazines. And Mom, this is the some. He loves Ferraris. This is a Ferrari extra. He has an Instagram. He has an Instagram now where he just posts all the cars he loves. He wanted to go to Dubai just so he could take pictures of all the sports cars. This was his vision, and he loves cars. And so when he's with his dad at the lot, he's like happy because he's looking at cars, thinking about cars. Girl, they come home and watch car shows. They come home and watch things about cars. And that's their vision, right? And they're helping people. They're providing transportation. They're serving humanity in some way. Your vision is to serve humanity. And the question is how? How do you want to serve? You know, we're all here to serve. And I believe the service we serve to humanity is service to God. By serving others, we serve God. That's how it works. That's why we're here. That's why we're really on the planet. We're on the planet to serve God, and we serve God by serving his creation. And that's the key to life. Even these chefs serving this beautiful food. You ever have a great meal and you're like, dang, this person is a genius. They're a genius with this food. They fed me, my soul is nurtured, my belly is nurtured. They provided a great service, right? Purpose checked, right? Let's see. We're going off on topic, y'all. Yes, Car and Driver, Stacey, Car and Driver. A 4-year-old, 3-year-old reading Car and Driver and telling me about the cars, and he would see cars drive by. Mom, that's a Volkswagen, da-da-da. And Mom, that's a da-da-da. And Mom, that's a da-da-da. And I just thought, you come into the world with a purpose. You really do. You felt, yes, back to Africa. Y'all want to go back to Africa? Because we got off, but it's okay. So I've been on for a long time. Dang nabbit. Yes, I feel so welcomed. She said I was married as long as she's been alive. So you're 21? Yeah, 21 years. I got married at 29, and who I'm at 29 is not who I'm at 50. And you grow in marriage. That's the thing. Like, you guys change. Like, what you hope and pray is that you grow together. Because what happens sometimes is in marriage you grow apart, and sometimes you grow apart and you grow back together. So you have like weird phases, like, and I think the key is like recognizing the weird phase and being and having a conversation and be like, dang, like we are kind of distant right now. Like, what can we do to get back together? And that's the work of marriage. It's not just throwing it away because we're distant and we're having issues. And it's like, no, how do we get back to the newlyweds? How do we get back to that phase of love? Everything is all hunky dory. Is that where the Gambino family is? Child, no. The Gambino family is not in Gambia. But the gays are, and the Jalos are, and the Jaws are, and the Jobs are, and the Georgius are. All those amazing, great families are. Let's see. Mine too. Mine too. My vision was always about killing family trauma and healing generational trauma. Me and you both. And I tell women, you could be the first one in your family to heal your family's generational trauma. Because I tell you, if you see how my kids are, I've healed mine. I've healed mine, okay? My kids are like just healthy, emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, spiritually healthy. And to me, that's the most important thing, right? So I've healed a lot. And I've done a lot of healing work. I've done therapy, I've done coaching, I've worked a lot on myself. Because I come from a dysfunctional background, so believe me, I've done I've done intimacy with myself, and I continue to every day. I live inside of myself. I live inside. I live to hear the doubts. I live to hear the fears. I live to hear the unworthiness. I'm listening for it. When I'm getting ready to do something new, and that's when they come up. You're getting ready to do something new that scares you, but it's connected to your purpose or something like your vision. You're gonna get scared. You're gonna have a voice that's gonna say, "Not you. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You can't do it. Who's going to buy it? Who's going to want it? You can't live your dream." I eradicate it instantly because I know it's a lie. It's not truth, right? So I eradicate it. And I really work on listening to myself and then feeding myself what I want to believe. Because I have to believe my vision if I want it to come true. I can't have a vision and like expect the world to believe it and I don't believe it. That's not how things work, right? Oh, okay. Your daughters go to that type of school? Yes. You gotta teach your kids to love who they are and be proud of who they are. And that's the thing a lot of our kids as African Americans are not getting in school. I got that in school. My dad was like, you should love the fact that your ancestors are from Africa. That's a great thing. Right? And you're gonna learn about it and the beauty of it. Not just slavery. That's one little of course we learned about slavery too, but like what before? What happened before? And so I was ready to like embrace the African experience, be an African man, come to Africa. I'm all excited. And it's funny how you see things that they do here and you go, oh, that's where it came from. Because we're still doing it. African Americans are still doing it. You're like, oh, that's the root of it. Okay. And then you can appreciate yourself even more. I think one of the chefs said this. We're watching the show. And he was like, when I learned to accept myself, it was like he was free. You got to accept yourself. You can't be free if there's any part of you that doesn't accept who you are, the fullness of who you are, the authenticity of who you are. Trying to fit into what people want you to be, or at work trying to fit in, or trying to be likable, or make people like you. Like, take me or leave me. You can leave if you want, and that's okay too. Because I like me, and that's the only like that is required. Everybody else, and that's with men too. Like I tell women, like if you don't like you, how do you expect a man to like you? You have to like you, not just love. You have to like you. You have to know you. You have to see the amazing qualities about you, what's amazing, what's great about you. And the more you see into you, all the skills, the gifts, the talents, the good things about you, your personality, the things you love, what naturally happens is others start to see it because you see it. Right? And then your friendships change, relationships change, even your work may change because you're seeing your own value. How do you think I could quit a job and start a business? The only way I quit a job and start a business was because I started to believe I deserve more. I deserve more than what somebody could pay me. Who could tell me what my worth is? A boss is always going to underpay me. A corporation is always going to underpay me. I want to decide income. I want to decide what I make. I want to decide my own value. Right? And that took a lot of inner work to get to the point where I could quit. That took tears. That took a lot of inner work. Not outer work. Because once I did the inner work, then God, I feel like God is in the details. Like then God will like move things around and like put the right people in front of your path. But you have to work on yourself first to believe that you can have whatever it is, a business or a great marriage or, whatever it is that you want. But if you don't believe it, then it's like the universe won't like basically like, you know, align to like help you get to where you want to go. Okay. What are you guys saying? What did I do before? I before I owned my business, it was funny. I was always in sales. And another thing is, you want to be with a man, and I tell women this all the time, that sees your gifts that you can't see. You want to be with friends, men, people, colleagues, coworkers that see your gifts. So my husband always told me when we first got married, he was like, "You need to go into sales." He was in sales. And I was like, no, I'm scared of sales. Oh my God, no. Sales? Me? I was kind of quiet. And he was like, you love people. He said, you love to talk to people. You're very curious about people, which I'm nosy. And you like to teach. You love teaching people something, no matter what it is. You'll go into the gas station and he's doing something and you have a different way to do it, and you'll teach him how to do something different that's more efficient. I love teaching, and that's what sales is. Sales is teaching. Sales is figuring out what people need by asking lots of questions and teaching them about the product, how the product or service will help them. That's all it is. And he convinced me, he saw into me that I didn't see this gift that I had. And he convinced me to go into sales. I used to do yearbook sales where I would sell yearbook programs to high schools and middle schools and colleges. And the part of it that I loved the most was the teaching. I would go in the classroom and teach the kids how to like design their yearbooks on the computer. And I would help them with the design and marketing and selling the book. I helped them make money in their yearbook program so that they could go to yearbook camp in the summer. They could sell out for the first year ever, sell their yearbooks. So all the kids in the school could say, that was the best yearbook ever, and buy it. And it was soul filling. It filled my soul. It rewarded my soul to see those kids run a successful yearbook program. So it wasn't just the sales part of it. I love seeing people grow. Oh, tears. Tears. Tears, tears, tears. Tears. When I see people grow, ugh. And it's probably because I love seeing me grow. I love seeing my growth. I love thinking about where I started in Philly, in the inner city, in the ghettos of Philly, and where I'm now. I'm in Africa right now, girl. It gives me a thrill like no amount of money could give me. And that's why I coach. I love seeing my clients grow. I love seeing them achieve their wildest dreams. I love it. And let me tell you how great God is. Ugh, ugh, tears. Oof. So he even gave us our gifts. He gave us our personalities. He gave us these things we naturally love to be and do so we could serve others, so we could serve his creation. And in that in itself is a reward. The money is just like icing on the cake, girl. It's icing. But the way you feel when you're doing something that you love, like these chefs, ugh, you gotta discover it. You gotta discover inside of you the gifts, natural gifts. You're just good at it. And you don't even know why. Girl, you was 5 in the kitchen cooking, making pancakes for the family. And you're like, I don't know why I love making these pancakes. You ever had a little cousin that would spend the night at your house? I had one of those little cousins. And they'd be downstairs at like 9 cooking breakfast. And you're like, did you just make waffles? And you just fried chicken? And they would have this big glow in their face. You remember those cousins? That's their gift. That's like their God-given gift. And all they got to do is share with the world. That's what they're here for. And you got to discover that within yourself. Yes. I hope you guys are discovering yourselves. I feel like the 20s are really I shouldn't say that because I feel like at 50, I'm still discovering more gifts and more talents. But we are also gifted, I promise you. And created individually, man, individually. Like that little fingerprint is like God's little stamp on you. Like you know how like the dolls, when they make the dolls, certain type of dolls. Like the Cabbage Patch Kids, you guys are too young for this, but back in the day, Cabbage Patch Kids were the craze. I grew up in the 80s, so they were the craze in 90s. And they would put like a special like serial code, like a serial code on the Cabbage Patch Kid to let you know it was authentic. What do they do that for now? Like whatever they make this like, they have a manufacturer's serial code on it and it's like authentic. Maybe like the purses, like a Gucci has like a special code on it. Your fingerprint is God's stamp on you. Pet. Authentic, original, specially designed, gifted. Now go. Go live your purpose. How can you serve me? By serving others. And when you discover it, you're going to have bliss. You're going to feel bliss while you're doing it. Now go. Away with you. You ready? You want to go to Earth? You sure? Okay. Here you go. Stamp. Fingerprint. Special stamp. And I was telling a friend because she asked me, she was like, what did you say to me? You was like, how do I wish I could have like a little fingernail of your diva. She was like, she was like, I want your fingernail. I want to feel the diva of you. Like if I could take a piece of your fingernail to experience your diva. And I said, girl, we're all divas. We're all special, created by God, individual fingerprints, like stamp, Cabbage Patch Kid, pup. There you go. Now off you go. Off you go. Into your purpose work. What is it? What do you love? How can you serve? Right? And then you start praying about it, and then things show up, people show up, and they start telling you, what about this? And what about this? And you're good at this. And you need people around you, girl, who see your greatness. You need people around you. It's like when your mom bought you the Cabbage Patch Kid and you were like, oh my gosh, she has like orange hair, but she has like these cute buttons. Like we all like they were individual. They were all individual. And like you would spend hours like picking her apart. And, but look at her little dimples here. But look at her little patch here. Like you just saw the greatness of that Cabbage Patch Kid. You need people around you like that. If you don't have friends and family that are like, girl, you are so good at this, or you're so good at that, or you should try that. Have you thought about that? They can't help you grow. They can't. And I don't have people around me that don't help me grow. I don't know why y'all have the friends y'all have. Because I don't have people around. I don't even have a lot of friends. I don't have people around me that cannot help me grow. Even my kids help me grow in some way. They help me become more patient, more understanding. They help me see things from a different perspective. Right? Everybody around me is helping me grow. You guys help me grow. Right? I'm literally here doing a TikTok about all types of smorgasbord of topics. Okay? And you should see me. I'm literally vibrating in the inside because I love speaking. I love teaching. I will teach anybody anything. Okay? Let's see. Oh, you're a dream teacher? Yeah. If you me tell you what it is. And this is a good topic. Girl, this FMM, you hit it on the nail on the head. So when you feel drained giving your gift, either one, you're giving too much. So there's an imbalance. There has to be a balance of giving and receiving, or you're not making enough money with your gift. So your gift should support your lifestyle. It shouldn't be where it feels like I'm working, but I'm still struggling giving my gift. Right. That's why I could never be a classroom teacher, I couldn't be like an elementary school teacher or a middle school teacher because I would feel like I'm giving more than I'm receiving. And I feel like that's not balance. And I don't think that God wants me to feel overwhelmed or burdened or overworked giving my gift. My gift should benefit me too. I like giving my gift. As I'm sitting here with you guys, I will get off when I feel spent. And I'll tell you, I'm feeling spent. I'm going. I'm not feeling spent right now. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling joyful. I'm feeling light. I'm feeling fun. I'm feeling easy breezy. But as soon as I get spent, and that's the other thing about women. Oh, we got to go there. We got to go there. Y'all ready? So the thing about women is a lot of women are taught this, and I'm so grateful I wasn't taught this, but that they are supposed to self-sacrifice. They're taught it by watching their mothers. Their mothers were in self-sacrificing mode 24/7, and they think that's normal. See, my father raised me, not my mother. So I didn't see a woman self-sacrificing. And my stepmother didn't self-sacrifice. She still had her own hobbies. She was an artist. She cooked, but It wasn't like excessive where she was totally drained and she couldn't do things she loved. She still makes art. When I came to Philly to go see her, she made me a little art bracelet or necklace. She still was filling herself up. It wasn't just about the family, what the family's doing, right? So she wasn't. I didn't see self-sacrifice. I didn't see that as a girl growing up. So for me, I always thought, oh yeah, my needs are important, and my dad made me feel that way. My dad was like, yeah, what do you want? Are you okay? What do you need? What's important? What do you want? It wasn't like, no, put everybody before you and you come last. And a lot of women learn that as children. And so they put themselves on the back burner, and what everybody wants and needs is on the front burner. And then you're burnt out. You're burnt out. So when you give, make sure it's a space of when you've filled yourself up, and then you can give. And what'll blow your mind is you'll give more. But you'll give it in love. You'll give it not because you feel forced to or have to. It's like, oh, I can't wait to share this gift. And then when you get spent, you can pull away and say, oh, I'm spent. Okay, enough. I've shared enough. Right? Even in the Quran, Allah says, he says, when you give, I love this. And I'm paraphrasing y'all. Y'all know I don't know that verbatim. But he says, even when you give, don't give to the point where you hurt yourself. You're supposed to give, but it's not supposed to hurt you. If giving feels like I'm hurting, or I'm not being taken care of, I'm not getting my needs met, that's not righteous giving. That's dysfunctional giving. And we don't do dysfunctional giving. We give righteous giving. Okay. Good question, though, you guys. Let's see. Enough? Okay. Are you spent? Oh, you're a gem. We all are gems. You're 25 now, and you don't want to continue feeling undervalued. So you have to start to tell yourself, I'm valuable. And you have to learn to set boundaries and say no. And speak up for yourself. I had to learn that. So I learned that I didn't see my true value when I was working. And I share this story all the time because I think it's a really important story for women. That's why I share it. But I was working as a salesperson. I was making like $60,000 a year. I wasn't making great money. I was traveling a lot to go from school to school. I had so many schools in the state, and I was traveling every day, traveling a lot. My kids were young. I was feeling like it was just too much. But I never asked for a raise. And we had an award show where I had sold this company $2 million. And I thought they're going to give me a bonus, or they're going to give me like a pay raise. And wasn't at that time, wasn't the woman to speak up for myself. I would have all these feelings inside. Like I said, you guys do. You lie to yourself. All these feelings inside, all these thoughts inside, but no one hears them. Then you keep them inside. And they create dis-ease in your body, which eventually creates physical disease. Emotional disease creates physical disease, and you develop cancer and all this stuff because you're keeping all your truth inside of you, right? You're not sharing it with people and telling people, hey, I'm overburdened, overworked, I'm making enough money. We don't do that. So I was going to the award show where I'd made this company $2 million. And when I got on the stage, I thought they're going to give me an award check, or they're going to give me a raise. And when I opened the check, it was a thank you card, and there was a box, and the box was a fake gold watch. And in that moment, I became a different person. You ever have like an awakening? Like something happens to you and you're like, dang, like I'm awake. I was asleep all this time. I was like a zombie, just, going through the motions, surviving. And then something switches in your head. And what I heard was like, it's not them. It's not them that don't know your worth. It's you. It's you. Because I didn't have the courage to stand up for myself. I didn't say the next day to HR, I need a raise. I made y'all $2 million. Like, hello, duh. I got to make more than this. Or I didn't say I want to work less. I didn't say anything. I didn't stand up for myself. Like a lot of women do when they're young. Because I was young. I was, 20s or 30s, early 30s. And then I started to change inside. I could feel it. I could feel that I started to believe that I deserved more money. But I wasn't sure how to create more money. And that's the thing about God. That's why I love God so much. You don't really have to have the plan. Like, He has the plan. But you have to know what you want, and you have to know what you deserve, and you have to ask for it. You have to believe you deserve it. That's the thing. So I started praying about it. And I stayed with that company. Then I moved across the country and started with another company that wasn't really paying me a lot. And I got to about 40 years old. And 40 is like a key point in people's lives. I started to like evaluate my life, and I was like, what do I really want? What do I want out of my life? I was working too much. My kids were little. I wasn't focused on my children. I was focused on work and making more money and, hustling and grinding. And I woke up on my 40th birthday, and everything in me was like, I don't want this life anymore. I don't want this. And then the question is, well, what do you want? And I was like, I want more time with my kids. I want more money. I want to decide the amount of income I make. I want part-time hours. I want to spend more time with my family. And then I started praying about it. I was just pray about it. And I was like, God, I don't know what to do, but how do I create a lifestyle? It wasn't even the money, it was more the lifestyle. How do I create the lifestyle that I really want to live? And then he started dropping ideas in my head. And I was scared, and you're going to be scared. And you're going to feel fear. But it was like he dropped one step, and I would take the step, and I never let the fear stop me. I just kept waiting for the next step. I kept praying for the next step, and the next step would come. Ended up, I started to, let's see, my life is restricted. Why? Oh God, these people. TikTok. Anyway, y'all ready for the rest of the story, or is that enough? Is that enough? So I started to pray about it. He started to sort of drop ideas in my head. I've always loved coaching. I've coached myself. I come from the inner city of Philadelphia, okay? I have coached myself to where I'm at in my life right now. I've coached myself. So I know how to coach people because I know what's happening in them because it was happening in me. I know the doubts. I know the fears. I know when you don't feel good enough. I know when you feel like because of where you come from or your people come from, people like you don't get out. Like I know all of that. I know the energy of it, and that's why I'm a great coach because I know. It's crazy. Like I feel people. Like I can listen to them talk, and I can feel the hurt in them, or I can feel the unworthiness. I'm a Cancer. That could be why. Or I could feel like a sadness, or like they know they're not living to their full potential, and they kind of know what they want to do, but they're scared. And I'm the person to walk them to the next step. It's like God already has the next step for them, but they can't see it. But it's like I see it, and I'm like, grab my hand and let's go. I'm with you. We're gonna go on the next step together. And then let me tell you what happens to them. Once they get to the next step, it's like then I can let go of their hand because they start believing in themselves. And then they start hearing all this like conditioning that has happened to them for so long that's getting in the way of them actually. The steps were always there, they just couldn't see the steps. They were always there, but their conditioning gets in the way of them seeing it. And the first time I show them the step, they're like, girl, oh my God, it's there. And then they can just like fly. All my clients, y'all, like it's crazy. Like all my clients fly. They just fly after I show them like their own gifts and skills, and like this is what you're good at and you deserve more and you can create more money. And I have a client that I'm working with now as a lawyer, and she was with this firm, a toxic firm, dysfunctional, and she was afraid to jump out of the dysfunctional pen. Like she was terrified, even though she knows this is like breaking my soul every day. like it's breaking me. And I just took her hand and showed her you could create something different. And now she's like with an amazing firm where she earns salary plus commission on the cases she works, and she believes in the cases she's working on, and she loves the partner she's working with. And it's like, and now she's just like flying, girl. She's flying. So then it started somewhere. I don't. It went to another place. I was telling y'all about. Let me see. Y'all know I go off on a tangent. I just let it flow, and I love to talk to, and I love to speak, and I love to teach. Um, my coaching sessions are so it's third. I offer a couple of different things because I do want to help you guys, and I think about affordability. I do think about that. So what I do is 30 minutes with me is like $100. That's not a lot, y'all. 60 minutes is 200. But also, if you just want to get questions answered or you want some guidance, I have a YouTube membership program, and it's literally 10.99 a month. And I do a live every week for you guys. And when you're on the live, I'll answer your questions. I'll coach you. You can also put your comments in the members only videos. So that one is like the least expensive option. But what you want to start to understand as a woman, and I had to learn this from, I worked with like 4 multimillionaire businesswomen coaches, and they had to teach me about money and my words around money and my thoughts around money and my feelings around money, and how my thoughts and feelings around money were creating the money I was creating. And I had to learn to invest in myself. I had to see that I was worth it, that I was worth investing in myself at a higher level. I mean, I've spent thousands and thousands on coaches, and I had to tell myself that was okay. I deserved it because I wanted to grow and I wanted to be better and I wanted to change. And I knew I needed those. I knew I needed that woman's help. Whoever it was at the time that inspired me, I was like, that's my girl. She's taking me to my next level. And she always did because I believed in her, right? And I was willing to spend the money to get the help I needed. I've always been that person. I'll spend the money to get the help I need because where I'm right now is a result of me getting help. I didn't do this journey by myself. I always had help on the journey, and it was never. And people who think they can do things alone, there's like an African proverb like that. Like, if you want to go far, you have to do it with like people supporting you. You can't go far in life alone. You just won't. That's not how it works. So yeah, let's see. Yes, I work across time zones. I have clients in England. I've had clients in Australia, England, hey, America. I've had clients in Canada. I've had clients in India. I've had clients in Bahrain. I've had clients in Dubai. I've had clients in, let me think, uh, Philippines. I've had clients all over the world. And so my calendar adjusts to fit where you are in your time zone. Okay. So I work with people all over the world, and it's literally just, it really is, it's a gift. And I remember I was telling my friend when I was like 7, 8, 9 in my neighborhood, I used to walk, we play in the neighborhood. And I feel like the women in my neighborhood, like that were in dysfunctional relationships or in toxic environments, would be on their porch talking to their girlfriends or talking to their, friends. And I would be happen to be walking by, and they would like tell me to come sit with them and talk. And they would tell me all their business. And I would just ask questions. Like, why? Why do you stay with a man like that? Or why do you let a man do that to you? And my questions helped them ask themselves questions. Like their girlfriends weren't helping them to see inside of themselves. Their girlfriends were just excusing the behavior. Their girlfriends would just be like, "Oh yeah, girl, it's him, girl. Men are all crazy. All men are crazy." But they weren't helping them to see that they were allowing men to treat them that way. And I would ask why. I was like a kid. I'd be like, "Well, why?" And then the lady would be like, "Dang, why?" And then she'd ask herself the question. And once you start asking yourself questions, and I do this to clients, once you ask yourself questions about your behaviors, you get to the truth. And once you start asking yourself questions, and I do this to clients, once you ask yourself questions about your behaviors, you get to the truth of why you're doing the things you're doing that are not creating the life you want, or not creating the marriage you want, or not creating the friendships you want, or whatever it is you want. It's something in you. It's not outside of you. So, are you cooking?
No.
Oh, I'm like, who's cooking this late at night? It's 9 o'clock at night. So, I'm getting ready to go because I'm feeling spent. See, I gave, and now I'm feeling spent. Which, who said that? FMM. When you're feeling spent, it's a sign. It's time to stop giving. You've given. You've given enough today. I've given enough. So I will talk to you guys when I'm inspired next. I'll continue to share content of Africa. It's been an amazing experience. If you check out my TikTok, follow me here on TikTok, you'll see all my content about Africa and all my content about men and marriage and self-worth and self-love, all the things I will talk about. And also follow me on my YouTube channel, which is Rashida Marriage Mindset, because I will get you right, girl. I'll get you right inside. I'll get you right inside. Because when you know you are a queen and you adore yourself and you love yourself, the only option for a man is to feel about you the way you feel about you. Okay? So I send you guys love as always. My salams.